Yeah, you head coach Chris Wilkerson, the team coming off a loss at UT Martin. They'll be back in action at home. They're going to host in-state foe Western Illinois on Saturday. So, coach, just some thoughts about your team, and we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, Kyle. Again, Saturday, I was proud of our effort. We started fast, went 7 plays and 75 yards and scored a touchdown on our opening drive. Defense got a fourth down stop and we got the ball back. But unfortunately, we didn't do enough to sustain on offense, defense, or special teams the remainder of the game. Turnovers, including a pick six offensively, defensively, our inability to execute on a high level, and certainly our tackling, and then special teams giving up some big returns. So, all in all, a frustrating day. Tip of the hat to UT Martin. They're a talented football team, and they certainly outplayed us. So, we are very excited about the opportunity to play at home for the first time in a month this Saturday. Certainly against a longtime rival. I know we haven't played since 15-16, but very excited about the opportunity to play a conference game at home this Saturday.
Thanks, coach. We'll go to some questions. Barry, you're up first. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How are you today?
I'm well. How you doing, Barry?
Good, thanks. I wanted to ask you with the success that Nate Lamb has had throwing the football, how important is your pass rush, not just from a sacks perspective, but from disruptions or pressures?
It's extremely important. Their offense is as hot as anybody in the country right now. If it weren't for, a late game turnover and a penalty, towards the end of the football game Saturday, they could have won 4 out of the last 5 football games. They had 700 plus yards as an offense on Saturday. Lamb accounted for over 600 yards. They are, they averaging 28 points a game. They're number 2 in the conference in total offense. They're number 1 in the conference in offensive efficiency. They're extremely explosive. They've got playmakers across the board. The chemistry that Lamb has with Henry and the tailback runs hard. The tight end blocks and catches. Aragon has certainly showed some flashes, and all their offensive skill kids. They know exactly what they want to do, and they are big and physical up front. They look very much like a Valley football team, and Joe's done a really good job establishing an identity with that offense. They know exactly what to do, but Nate Lamb makes them go. He's got a complete high level understanding of what they're doing. He gets the ball out of his hands extremely fast, and very, very, very rarely does he make a poor decision. So it's going to be extremely important that we try to disrupt him. We certainly haven't been very successful at disrupting anyone offensively this year.
Chris Sharp was a kid who got a first start for you at corner, and I know Keywan Davis has been a guy that you like that, has also gotten some time there. Can you tell me about Chris and Keywan and how they played?
Yeah, Chris is a competitive young man, has really worked really hard since he's been here. And we know he's going to compete at a high level, had been a special teams core 4 guy and has continued to work and develop. And certainly opportunity has presented itself through his work ethic and then the injuries in front of him. So I have no question that he will compete very hard. Keywan has been a guy that has also continued to develop. He's just starting to get comfortable with understanding the system. He's a transfer, and this is his 3rd school in 3 semesters, but he is a freshman. And some people kind of forget that, and he has some development that still needs to happen. But he's learning and he's improving, and that's all that we can ask. So those guys are working very hard, and I have no doubt that they'll continue to work this week as we prepare for Saturday.
Third down defense has been a bit of a trouble spot for you guys. I wanted to ask you about what corrections you can make there, and is it just as simple as executing more on third downs?
It's a little bit of everything. So, first of all, it starts with first down, and you want to win first down. You want to put yourself in a 2nd and long situation, where again you can give up less than half or 0 yards and put them in those 3rd and long situations. We have not had enough 3rd and long situations where typically, statistically, your defense has a better chance to be successful. So we've had a lot of 3rd and shorts and a lot of 3rd and mediums. But even when we have had the 3rd and longs, yes, we have not executed at a very high level. We haven't been able to necessarily finish on some plays. And it's something that we're working very hard at, but obviously has to improve to give us a chance to be successful.
I wanted to ask you about, obviously you're not where you want to be, and you're not where a lot of folks around the conference expected you to be at this time. How do you, and your staff kind of turn the page each week, and what's your focus, every Monday?
Yeah, you don't have a chance to, get too high on the highs or too low on the lows. And the bottom line is the reality is somewhere in the middle. You've got to continue to turn the page. If you don't, and you let last week, whether it's good or bad, impact your preparation for this week, you're going to put yourself behind already. And so, hey, it's about turning the page every Sunday. We talk about what we've done well and what we haven't and why and where we're going to go. And then Monday certainly is a massive game planning day, Sunday and Monday for the coaching staff. And then when the kids come back over here Tuesday, they're able to get the game plan and we start obviously practicing, our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday preparation for our Saturday play. So every week's going to be a challenge in this league. It's competitive from top to bottom. And certainly, everybody's had their problem with injuries, not excluding us.
I wanted to ask you lastly, Coach, tight ends have become a bigger part of your offense. Obviously, last week at Martin, the tight ends were made a lot of contributions. How much of that is their development, and how much is that out of necessity with some of the losses and the injuries you've had at receiver?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. Certainly, Alex Ginever got his first college start against Tennessee State the previous week, and did a really nice job for us. And he's a guy that we've watched continue to develop, and he had his opportunity because Anthony Meneves sustained an injury. Alex has continued to improve. Had some missed assignments on Saturday, but has done some other stuff really, really well. But Alex Herrera then got his first college start on this past Saturday against Martin. And again, a phenomenal route runner, ball catcher. He's a guy that can actually play detached as a slot and has a bigger catch radius than our current slot receivers. So we're going to continue to use Alex quite a bit. He's got to continue to develop in the blocking part of it if he's going to be attached to the formation, and even when he's detached. But he has really shown some flashes of great athleticism for a tight end H-back. But we're excited about him, and he will continue to be a big part of our offense.
Great. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, thanks a million.
Coach, you mentioned 2016 is the last time you all played. Now you're all going to start playing every year too. Just what are the thoughts of that natural rivalry and things maybe you all can do? Maybe there's another traveling trophy again in the future, and what that would mean just for the two programs.
Yeah, it certainly was us. We played Western every year when I was a player, and then early as I coached until we transitioned to the OVC. But as we were members of the Gateway, now become the Valley, that was our probably even more so than that other team in Normal. It was our biggest rival, and they had some very, very good football teams, and physical and tough and big, and we had some knockdown, drag out, backyard fights, if you will. And so I think the ability for us to continue to play every single year in this conference is awesome for both schools. We are kind of mirror schools of each other, Eastern, Western, similar enrollments, similar college towns, similar football programs with strong storied traditions. And so, again, we're excited about the opportunity to play at home this weekend against a very well-coached, talented, explosive football team.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a million, Kyle. Go Panthers.